So then, welcome to Split at what really is the beginning of a new era for Croatia. After 6 successful years guided by Slaven Bilic, who in that 6-year period was only defeated 6 times in 59 games. Another member of that famous team from 1998, Igor Stimac, the man now in charge, begins this long road to World Cup qualifying, which for a generation of fans who've been growing up watching is almost a given that they qualify these days. This useful experience for Stimac ahead of a group that includes Serbia, Scotland, Belgium and Macedonia. It's seen as not an easy group, but certainly one that they should qualify from. As for Hitzfeld, the big disappointment of the summer's European Championships is history. He's qualified for 1 World Cup, and they're going to be favourites to make Rio from a group that includes Norway, Slovenia, Albania and Cyprus, as well as Iceland. It's a talented group, this, as Germany found out when they put 5 past them in a friendly in the warm-up for those European Championships, and a test here then for them as well. First touch then for Maloka. Clearance there from Berami. Player to keep an eye on, Berami. Eduardo's waiting in the penalty area, so too is Olic. Well, he's been talking about the quality of the squad, and that the quality will bring them through. Quality certainly from Dario Serna, and the success is going to be part down to him and the quality of ball he can get in there for the likes of Eduardo and indeed Ivica Olic, who begins, remember, a new club this season, plays with Wolfsburg after moving on from his old club, Bayern Munich. Nico Kranjčar concedes the free kick then. Funny, if you look back at Croatia's history in those World Cups after that great side of 1998, they've only actually won 1 game in the World Cup since, and Olic actually scored in that. Now there's a great opportunity here. Everybody backing off. Lichtsteiner has left it, and Xhaka has opened the scoring for Switzerland. What a start. Well, they backed off. They allowed Stefan Lichtsteiner to literally run into the penalty area. And the 19-year-old Xhaka, who's moving into Bundesliga this season with Borussia Mönchengladbach, where incidentally he's got a Swiss coach there. Just look at this. It was just a question of pick where you want to play the ball. It was lucky in the end. The save from Pledikosa wasn't a particularly good one. It played it right back into the path of Xhaka. That was a great finish, though. His layoff and his finish. 10th cap tonight for Xhaka, and that is his 2nd international goal, and a very good one it is too. You see the way the ball was bobbling then, it would have been easy to rush that and send it over the bar, but he did exceptionally well, and Switzerland have the lead here. Such is the cosmopolitan nature of Swiss football these days. The squad contains very few who are playing in the Swiss leagues. There's Inler, allowed to run again, literally unchecked through the middle of the field. Nobody closing him down. And the Swiss are building up a head of steam here. This is Berami. Yeah, look down the squad that Hitzfeld has actually assembled here. And only 3 from the Swiss league, those relatively inexperienced, including Gavranovic, who's a player to look out for. That's put behind. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's been just saved from being a corner kick there, Mario Malochka. When you look at every other league is represented. The Premier League is represented, Euro's in there, the Bundesliga, the Serie A with Lichtsteiner, who's playing there. And indeed, Ukraine. All built, of course, on the back of a very, very sad youth policy. We saw the Swiss winning the under-17 championships, under-19 championships, doing well in that as well over the last few years. And these are all the graduates. A number of them are graduates from those squads. There's Barnetta. Suffered periods of niggling injury over the last few seasons, which has really interrupted his career. Tranquillo Barnetta. That was Ricardo Rodriguez. Very, very strong defender, Ricardo Rodriguez. Playing with Ivica Olic next season in Wolfsburg. He's only 20 years of age. Already built up something of a fearsome reputation. He was one of those players that we saw in the Under-20 World Cup a couple of years back with the Swiss. There's Lichtsteiner. Well, the Swiss have really settled into this game. It's the Croatians that are having a little bit of trouble here, getting a foothold into the match. Certainly isn't the first choice 11 here. It's been a busy, busy summer, of course, of those European Championships. Again, Rodriguez is getting forward, loves to get forward over the halfway line. And useful as well from set plays, Rodriguez, and just look at that. Again, as we said, it looks easy from there, but that ball was bobbling around. As you can see, the pitch has cut up quite significantly. A flick on there from Mario Mandzukic. What is a big chance for the upcoming season, Mandzukic, and it's going to be right from the start. There's Stimac. Former coach of Hajduk Split, which is where he made his name as a player. Played there for 7 seasons before, of course, he wended his way to Derby County, where he stayed for 4 years. The back end of the 1990s, big money signing he was, £1.5 million. She scored on his debut. He's hoping he can get a victory on his managerial debut with the international team. So Eduardo on the near post. Mandzukic is in there as well. They've got plenty forward here. Well, it was hit well enough from Berge. It had to go a long way just to beat Diego Benaglio from there. It was well picked out. That was an intelligent pass to make. Seven here is Rakitic. And again. Pjanic. Player that Bayern Munich wouldn't let go last year. Interesting to see how he stays this time. That was beautifully brought down then by Dario Serna. And that's a great volley. What a goal from Eduardo. magnificent goal. Well, this might only be a friendly. That was pure world-class finishing that from Eduardo. 24th international goal for the Shakhtar forward, and he won't have scored many better than that. Darius Cerny got a bit lucky with the rebound, one touch, and what about that for a finish? Well, he's had so many ups and downs in his career over the last 5 years or so. Well, the sheer force taking that beyond Diego Benaglio. That was a goal that he would have been proud of. And corner kick. Snyder complaining to his midfield players. He's the man of the moment. Hasn't found life easy in Ukraine with Shakhtar. He's just nudged into double figures. He's played at 40 odd games there now, 11 goals. And this is Rakitic then with the corner kick. You can see they've worked this one before, and it somehow didn't have the conclusion you thought they wanted. There was a volley from distance supposed to be coming there, that's for sure. Now looking to try and pick up Barnett, who was coming in then. And a good run from Mehmedi. Ball ball, this is Shaqiri. Haven't seen too much of him so far, Shaqiri. If they stand off, he'll take them all on. Shaqiri sets it up. Oh, that was a poor finish. Mehmedi really could have done better than that. Pulled it wide. Shaqiri did brilliant work. It's the first time he's really cut loose. Lovely touch. And then just pulled it wide. Didn't even make Pleticosa work. And again, it's another 21-year-old Mehmedi, who was actually born in Macedonia. A fearsome reputation of scoring for the under-21s. He made 9 appearances between August and June of 2011. And scored 6 goals for the under-21s, which is why he got the promotion. This is Pranjic. That's a great ball in by Pranjic. Nobody there to attack it. And Cerna in the end with the strike over the bar. Be pushing on towards 100 caps as well. Dario Cerna. 95 today. There's only one member of this team that's actually scored more goals than he has. That's Eduardo. Little flick on once again from Mehmedi. This is Rakitic. And to Pranjic again. Rakitic trying to get it onto that right foot and onto the left in the end. And the finish from Olic. Straight down on Benaglio's right-hand post. Easy for him to deal with this time. Good indication of the strength that Ivica Olic has got. He just muscled Juru out of the way. Rakitic, such a key member of this team, Rakitic. And there's going to be a free kick. Alan Berami's challenge. Should have bending it in, and Rakitic with the head over. 10 minutes to go then to half-time. Croatia fought back well in this game to get involved. They were overrun for the opening 10 or 12 minutes. And to Rodriguez. Good play that was from Berami. Away goes Shaqiri, off the post, and the follow-up is in from Barnetta. Well, how many times in this first half when the Swiss have got a head of steam up attacking through the middle of the field of the Croatian defenders just backed off into their own penalty area almost. Again, it was not an easy finish for Barnetta to execute. Shaqiri showing brief glimpses of what he's capable of. Tried to place it instead of going for brute force and power, and he very nearly got his success then, because it had beaten Pleticosta with that bounce on that uneven turf, and then Barnetta with the follow-up. Well, he's got a new club this season, Tranquilla Barnetta, in Bundesliga with Schalke after 7 seasons with Leverkusen. As we said, he's only his 9th international goal. Some feel that he's never quite delivered on the promise that he initially had as a player. 63 caps he's had now. Last couple of seasons there's been plenty of injury, in particular last season. Rodriguez sometimes does just dive in on these challenges, just has to learn to temper his enthusiasm. It's cost him on a couple of occasions in the last year with Wolfsburg. This will be Serna to bend it in. Eduardo was moving toward the near post. There's Rodriguez again. Switzerland again looking comfortable here. Xhaka assisting, shuttling across. Juru nearly gets his pocket pick there. Well, they've got a good record in qualifying. They had a great record until 2010 when they lost twice to England. Prior to that, only Denmark had ever beaten them. 2 unbeaten qualifying campaign groups as well, Croatia. So, usually get the job done, usually. And the Swiss too. This is Shaqiri. going to be putting Iron Robin under some significant pressure. Luka Modric, of course, plenty still being discussed about who he's going to be playing for in this coming season. This is Dario Serna. And again, there's 2 attempts from outside the penalty area, both from the same player. With Shaqiri. That's a fantastic ball that from Shaqiri. Mehdi is on the edge of the penalty area. Here he is. Shaqiri wants it back again. He's not going to get it. Now he gets it. He's got a lot of players to get through here. Oh, no free kick there. It was played for. Well, he's not afraid to experiment in friendly matches, it's felt, but on this occasion, this is a strong Swiss 11. Quite a quiet year, really, for them. They lost against Argentina back in February by 3-1. Before that, amazing performance against Germany. Did have a new goalkeeper in situ that day, did the Germans. But Dediok had a magnificent day. You might remember a hat-trick scored there by Dediok. They lost to Romania in the friendly after that, so need to build up something of a head of steam on the eve of this qualifying campaign. As we said, they've got a group that really shouldn't trouble them. No offside, and Lichtsteiner. Well, that was a real waste, that, from Stefan Lichtsteiner. It was neither one thing or the other. Went for goal himself on the previous occasion that he was in behind. Just trying to drop it on the back post for somebody that wasn't there. So much time then, Lichtsteiner. Dreadful ball. Really was a poor ball. Well, final few exchanges of this first half, which has been a pretty good game to watch. Certainly the Swiss have had the better of it, but Croatia have had moments in this game as well. Lichtsteiner. Monochka with the final touch of that first half, and as we said, good first half from the Swiss. Croatia had their moments. Certainly the standout moment of the first half has been Eduardo's goal. But the crowd aren't too impressed, as you can tell, with the whistles as they go off at 2-1. Welcome back then to Split. Good atmosphere around the stadium. Stimac, though, is hoping his team are going to produce better in this second half with the possession they have. They created a good few opportunities, most of it being filtered through Serna, although Pranic did send in a few decent crosses of his own. As you can see, Vukušić has come into the game. It's a debut for him. Always guaranteed to get the crowd on their side with the emergence of a new name, and Ante Vukušić, who plays with Hajduk Split. As we said, one of was Stimac's former club, both as a coach and indeed as a player. Can Switzerland do slip into this possession mode of football very, very easily indeed. Now they're in again here. Well, Mehmedi has done that on 2 occasions so far. Once he sent it wide of the right-hand post, now he sends it wide of the other one. Swiss have actually lost just one qualifying game in the last 2 World Cup campaigns, and amazingly it was a real headline maker if you can cast your mind back. It was against Luxembourg. It was Hitzfeld's 2nd World Cup qualifier after a draw with Israel, and at that point people were beginning to wonder what on earth they'd actually employed, whether or not he completely lost the plot. But the general, as he's been known down the years, certainly got things back on track again. Lost 5 competitive games under Ottmar Hitzfeld against Wales, Montenegro, England, Chile and Luxembourg. But there's certainly a feeling that he's doing more with the resources available to him than Kobe Kuhn, who he took over from. If he didn't have so much of an act to follow, imagine what it's going to be like for Stimac to try and fill the shoes of Slaven Bilic. His sides have been actually very unlucky at some of the championships they've been at, in particular the European Championship just gone. 11 there was Dario Serda, continues to be their most threatening player. Down goes Rodriguez. There's Ivan Perisic. Big season 2 for him, Perisic. He's had that first year with Borussia Dortmund and it didn't go quite as he'd planned. I think he felt that he was going to be more involved in that first season than he was. Primarily used as a sub, but he didn't often answer himself. He had this rare habit of scoring late goals coming on as a substitute. You look back through the course of the season, I think it was about 7 or 8 times he managed to score in the last 9 minutes of games. There's Rodriguez. Rodriguez throw. Powered back by Vida. Vukusic, and it's a goal kick. Yeah, indeed, Perisic did issue a warning that unless he was more involved, then he would be perhaps considering a career away from Borussia Dortmund. Again, very good crosser of the ball. I don't think too many people will forget that goal that he scored against Arsenal in the Champions League last season. And you can see Gavranovic looking to try and get on the end of it. Now, the element of surprise, pace on the counter-attack here. Oh, that was a massive disappointment again. To be fair, it's only the first time he's blown it, but not the first time that the team have not made the best of the position they had. Not kept a clean sheet this year of Croatia. Here comes Rodriguez. Gavranovic is in. Great finish. That is a superb finish. Well, the 22-year-old's back in Switzerland these days. He's one of that group of talented former youth internationals that did leave Switzerland for a very brief spell in Germany, but it didn't quite work out for him. But there's no doubt that he certainly does have talent. Okay, look at the vision of Shaqiri and teeing him up. His contribution is all over this game. This will be, any Bayern Munich fans watching this, this will be something that will whet the appetite and certainly going to stir up a bit of competition, depending on where it is, in fact, that Heinkes fancies playing it. Those two wide positions, the ownership of one Ian Robben and Frank Ribéry. So it'll be interesting to see what pressure he puts on. Of course, he may well get his chance very early on with the fact that Mario Gomez is out, of course, recovering from an op. One thing is for certain, though, he certainly won't be getting that amount of time again in, week out. Another opportunity here again for Gavranovic. Well, this is really poor quality defending at the moment from Croatia. They're defending so deep. And the home crowd beginning to get on their back. He's at FC Zurich, who are already into their season. 2 goals in 5 so far for him this season, Gavranovic. Vukojevic is on. Another who plays his football with Dynamo Kiev. And of course, Nico Kranjčar. It was Vida. And Zerna. Hour gone. And Croatia really haven't got going in this second half at all. Oh, now nicked away. What a chance. Well, the youngster who's only come in for his first cap tonight, very nearly capping it with a goal. The Hajduk split man taking it away from De Jure. Vukusic unable to put it in. Plenty to aim at, flinging toward the near post. Nelson Fernandez. Again, trying to vary it up a bit. Well, the service to Eduardo in the second half has been very, very sparse indeed. Well, never gives anything less than everything he's got, does he? Dario Serna. This is Rita Ziegler. Strinic, wasn't a great pass that from Strinic at all. Again, putting themselves back under pressure. Xhaka, he loses that there this time to Rakitic. He can't hold on to it either. Very good challenge. Pjanic making it. Cerner again. Eduardo. Perisic, great ball, and it's Eduardo's there. That's much better. Well, Perisic, we know, is a fine deliverer of the ball from wide position. He had time and space to make the cross, and he just picked out Eduardo, who had nothing else to do but just to guide it past a rather helpless Diego Benaglio. Made to look so easy, and that's his 25th international goal now. Eduardo. 51 caps. Well, we got a game on again. A 3-2, and here comes Luka Modric, just checking his hair's okay. Hitzfeld will be disappointed with the way in which they actually defended that. Modric just getting a bit of instruction from Stimac. This long running saga of his with Tottenham. He's unbelievably unsettling for everybody concerned. Most notably the club sitting there with a £40 million asset doing absolutely nothing. Now, as it gives them the stimulus to actually get forward here. And sliding in that, Vida started the move, and very nearly on hand to conclude it as well. And Eduardo leaves the field to significant applause, and deservingly so. Well, it's Modric who was getting the big ovation as he came on. Now, this man produced one truly magnificent piece of skill. It's going to come here. So look at this one-touch, spun, volley, goal. Got his hands to it. Did Benaglio, but there was nothing he could do to keep it out. And again, making it look easy. And when he's on top form, he is a great player to watch. Rakitic then. Poor corner. Rakitic going to get a second bite at it, though. Plenty of time to pick his spot here. Looking for Vida on the back post and get it. There's Dario Cerner. Never misses the opportunity to attempt or have an attempt at a volley. Something spectacular from those positions. Back to Cerner. Modric wide of him. This is Luka Modric. Oh, lovely little touch that from Modric. If he gets up here alongside them, he could get a strike on goal. Rakitic, though. And straight at Benaglia. Free kick goes Switzerland's way. Stocker into the game for the Swiss is one of those three who are actually based in Switzerland with Basel. Gavranovic wants it deep. Here he is, Gavranovic. Got all the way on his own. He might shoot. Here he does. What a good goal. Well, every time they've been pushed back and back to the edge of their own penalty area inside, it's just like serving up an opportunity on a plate to Switzerland. They've taken 4 of them. They could have had 6 here. And Croatia and their defenders still have not learnt. And the 22-year-olds who left Switzerland for Schalke a couple of years ago and didn't make it there. He spent last season out on loan with Mainz, and they decided they didn't want to take up the option to buy him either. Well, he's had a very good start to this season, that's for sure, and he's going to be a player to keep an eye on. Oh, Modric left it, he maybe shouldn't have done. There aren't too many occasions when teams have come and put 4 goals, and it could have been 5. Well, Mehmedi has had 3 great chances in this game, and he hasn't put one of them away. Well, there will be inevitable comparisons made between Stimac and between Slaven Bilic, of course, and more so in the coming weeks and months, as Rakitic has another wayward shot. And they are not used to seeing their team losing, as we said, just 6 times in 6 years. The pressure is on early. Qualifying group which involves Serbia does have Belgium, who've had a fantastic result tonight in putting 4 past the Dutch and turning them over and making a night miserable for Louis van Gaal. Although, to be fair, when you look back through the history books, there's not very often over the years that coaches have had great first nights. That's straight at Bledikosa, no problem there. Rinus Michels, on 4 occasions he was involved with the Dutch national team. He never managed to get a win on the opening night with the Dutch. Neither did Advocaat, neither did Guus Hiddink. So Louis van Gaal is in good company, but that Belgium team could cause a few problems for Croatia. It is not a good night for Igor Stimac. There is plenty to improve upon. Well, that is for sure here. But as for Otmar Hitzfeld, well, things looking very promising indeed. Xhaka with the opening goal before Eduardo equalised, and then a couple of goals before half-time from Barnetta. And then Gavranovic just after the interval. Eduardo got them temporarily back into the game before Gavranovic with that late goal, making it 4 goals to 2 that Switzerland have beaten Croatia by. Man of the match, plenty of candidates for that. Shaqiri had a very good game. Goal of the game, certainly Eduardo's. That's it for now. From me, Tim Cable, bye-bye.